we pause for a second or two. This is episode 118. More hearsay, less news. Before, in more peaceful times, a couple of decades ago, news felt to consist more of facts, reports. If we opened a newspaper, what we expected to see was some kind of account of something that had happened, past tense. We were presented with facts, circumstances, descriptions, and some context. Some maybe 10 years ago, something like that, 5-10 years ago, we started getting used to a new way of reading about current events. And this second layer, if you will, came together with the online magazines, the online reporting. And in that new online environment, besides facts, reports, context, we started getting presented with narratives. We started getting presented with not only what had happened and where, but how to read it. We were given specific analysis of what had happened and why, and what we should think about it as readers. And now, an additional 5 or 10 years has passed. And now we are seeing yet a third layer being put upon these first two. So first there were facts, and then second there were being told how to interpret it, how to read it. And now the third is that we are presented with hearsay. We are presented with a tiny bit of fact, and upon that tiny bit of fact is posed some scenario. This could happen, or this might happen, or that is plausible to go down. Today's episode is called More Hearsay, Less News. And the Polaroid for today's episode is specific skill fog. specific skill fog is about that our sense of predictability in life, our sense of safety, our sense of knowing how things go is in part due to how foggy or clear we feel emotionally. And also, in addition, how we go in and out of foggy states of mind. How that rhythm, if you will, of us going from clear to foggy, from foggy to clear states of mind. When we are in a clear state of mind, when we feel awake, when we feel alert, sober, well-fed, well-slept, then we may process facts, we may process narratives and explanations, and we may also process hearsay in quite a good way. However, when we are in a foggy state of mind, when we feel confused, when we feel blurry, when we feel that reality and dream is sort of blending into each other, when we are in such a state of mind, then facts will feel mostly okay to us emotionally. We will be able to handle most facts. The second level of news, since 10 years now, the narratives, the interpretations, how we should read these facts. This second layer can be problematic. It can be quite difficult for us to distinguish what we really feel about something or what is an imposed feeling on part of the writer. And yet further, this new level, this third level, when we are being presented with hearsay, sheer speculations upon this tiny bit of fact or evidence, this impactful thing will happen. This big thing is likely to happen. This third kind of, we cannot really call it news, but this third kind of writing, let's call it writing. This third kind, we have difficulty processing, we have difficulty making sense of when we are in a foggy state of mind. The speculations being made right now, the hearsay being constructed right now, is about the greatest of consequences. It's about if a world war will become reality. It's about if an economic depression will become reality. It's about if another pandemic will become reality. It's about if civil war will become a reality. So The hearsay we are being presented with right now is not about benign things. It's about the most grave of things with the highest stakes possible. And hearsay about the greatest fears creates a negative spiral for us. Let's say we are feeling a little foggy. And then we read about one of these hearsays. Let's say war is breaking out tomorrow. War will break out this night between these two times. Then the fogginess we are feeling will make us unable to process the hearsay. We will be vulnerable to it. And then the next day, when the hearsay didn't come true, we will feel more foggy. We will feel that life is more unpredictable. We will feel that we must question even more of our reality. And then, the next day, we are presented with yet another drastic hearsay. And this time we are feeling yet a little more foggy. And we will be yet more vulnerable to this second critical hearsay. And then again, this new hearsay does not come true, or just comes true in part, or sometimes do come true. And regardless if these hearsayings come true or not, it reinforces this negative spiral of us feeling more and more foggy at mind. This third kind of writing that we are seeing in all kinds of media outlets, both mainstream and alternative outlets, they contain a lot of hearsay, and it is quite a new phenomenon in this form. So we pause for a second or two and recognize that we are being subjected to a new phenomenon. That we quite frankly do not know how it will feel to be subjected to constantly new hearsays about the greatest fears. And we are but in the beginning stages of this new hearsay economy. And chances are that we will feel increasingly foggy and increasingly vulnerable. And that the collective discussion will feel more and more unpredictable. Specific skill fog is under our sleep situation in the pause framework of emotional skills. And our goal for our sleep situation is predictability. We need predictability in order to thrive. And now, with these hearsay articles, what is predictable now is that the articles are unpredictable, that they are hearsayings, that they are speculative, and that they are not really news at all. They are speculations. There are less and less news now. Focus is being drawn away from news, away from facts. And we are put instead inside of this negative spiral of speculation, a negative spiral of desperation, unpredictability. What we can do is to pause for a second or two and just think for a while, what am I reading here? Am I reading facts? Am I reading a narrative? Or am I reading a hearsay? Is it about things in the past? Is it about how we should feel? Or is it about the future? Past, present, future. Unfortunately, this hearsay culture might stay. It might take a while. In wartime, all warfare is based on deception, and deception goes in all directions. So, for as long as the conflicts drag on, so will this new phenomenon of foggy hearsay. And we will not gain access to facts in the same way, not during wartime. Facts are kept away from the general public in times of conflict. Always has been. And it is unfortunate that it is hard to achieve a sense of predictability in these times, and that perhaps more than ever, if we turn to the media outlets, both the mainstream and the alternative, we will face more unpredictability than predictability. We will face more hearsay than news, more deception than facts. Sometimes a new phenomenon is just bleak, and there is not much to celebrate about it. And that's how it is sometimes. That's it for today. Thank you.